it's interesting that, words make a big difference.
Yeah.
And so what I like to do, and what I did from the beginning, all the way, from startup all the way through, where we had our several hundred of employees, is I would use the words we instead of I or me, and I would, instead of saying I don't care, like you mentioned, I would say, what do you think? Mm-hmm. Do you have a proposed solution? I tried to teach my direct reports that if they came to my office with a problem, they better have a couple solutions ready so that the time needed to make a decision is reduced.
And did you teach that through repetitive, what do you think we should do?
Yes.
Or was it a like, hey, here's in the SOP handbook you need to have a solution?
It's not in a handbook. It's, everybody has their own style, and your employees will quickly learn what your style is. And if you are consistent and you guide them along the way, then you'll get the results you want. You want your employees to be invested in the solution and not just following directions or instructions. So when they feel like it's their solution or their answer to the problem, well, you've got a whole different attitude than when you have somebody just following your instructions.
Mm-hmm. The we versus the I, it's interesting because it's such a throwaway comment, but it's also so impactful, because I've worked at places where, as an employee, you pick up on the I. And it just so happens that we only comes out when there's a failure, or you, but yeah. So I hope if you ask the team that I say we a lot. There are times maybe it slips. Like, I was just writing a promotional email right before we came in here, and one of the lines I was in there was talking about at Harper Belmont, I think what I was writing was, we make a lot of content for our clients, and I try not to send you too many emails about that. Well, I made the conscious decision. It's like, it's not an I. I said, I changed it to we in that email. But it's easy to do that as you're writing and reading. I think it's a little bit harder to change how you verbally say it. I've made an effort to do that, but I don't know if I'm not fully conscious enough about myself that I do it. Sohail, do I say I or we a lot? And you could be honest.
I think you definitely say we, and it's funny you say this. Yesterday you said we need to do something, and I knew in that scenario you were meaning I need to do it. So that's actually when it gets confusing. But for the most part, it's it's we.
Yeah.
That's what I always say about you, Ryan. You run this place pretty democratically when it comes down to it.
Yeah, well, there we go.
That's good. Great feedback.
Cool. Podcast over. I'm doing a good job, don't you?